All right, hello. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, this morning was not happening for me. I'm awake now, though. I swear I am. I have coffee. Apparently, the sun is being real aggressive right now. I feel like that's not what it normally looks like at this hour, but okay. Do you, sun? Do you? Hey, I'm Chloe, and this is Rise and Write. Let me know what y'all are working on. Hey, Jackie, and hey, Courtney, and hey, anybody else who is lurking. Sorry, I had to finish this sentence. So technically, what I'm working on today is continuing the edits for that shifter romance. Hopefully I will have that done by tomorrow. That's kind of my deadline for it, because I need this out of my life. And I'm like looking at other things coming up and realizing I don't have nearly the time that I thought I did to get stuff out. So I'm working on that. But technically right now I am working on one of my 100 short stories in 100 days. For any of y'all who haven't done this before, or even if you have, I don't know how anybody else does this. This is my first time trying it. So, like, I'll have an idea for like 2 or 3 of them, and then I'll write them, and then I'll be like, oh no, I have no idea what I'm doing now. And then somehow so far, every single time I've had that like epiphany. The glow of the sun is like really aggressive, but I don't mind it. I kind of like the lighting. Anyway, so last night I had that, like I had finished up. I didn't know where to go from there. And then I had that epiphany. And I originally had like a thought of how to start it, but one of my big problems I think right now with writing short stories is I'm wasting a lot of time in the beginning. I hope I haven't actually gone through and edited any of these, so where I haven't like posted them. I'm going to start posting on March 1st. So I'm just getting like a cache of them right now. Anyway, so I figured out how to start it, and I almost wrote it last night. I almost dragged my ass out of bed just to like write the beginning couple of lines. And then I was like, no, I'll just remember it in the morning. And thankfully I did. So I was writing that, except like I flubbed it already because I had realized that I needed to change where it was located. And I realized that last night. And then as I was writing it, sure enough, I screwed it up. So anyways, I wrote 53 words. But I will be going on to the shifter stuff after this. Courtney had me muted and missed the timer. That's okay. That means you were working. Also, it means that you're going to be working again very soon, because that timer is getting toward the end. Where are we at? Yeah. We only have like a minute left before we start again. Also, crazy thing for me, I don't know if I got listed on a, like, if somebody blogged my book who has like a big subscribe list or something, but yesterday, just out of the blue, I had by far my best sales day ever. It was the weirdest damn thing. I don't know what happened. I'm not expecting it to be a trend that continues, of course. I'm not going to be like, oh, I made it because I had one great day. But I had one great day yesterday. And I'm feeling really good about that. Like, if every day I sell what I did yesterday, I don't have to go back to work. I get to do this with this to be my work. It's enough that I would have to like do taxes and all of that. And at that point, I could stop saying going back to work and just say this is work. So that felt really good. That was the first time I actually hit that number where I made enough to live off of yesterday. Yesterday's expenses were covered by yesterday's sales. So, yeah. That's, oh gosh. That's oh, you know what? It's okay. Yes, Courtney, it is a great day is a great day. Definitely something to celebrate. I am absolutely celebrating it, but I'm also keeping a level head about it, knowing that like I can't assume that whatever happened yesterday is just like my natural progression. Considering that the day before my number was pretty embarrassing, if I remember correctly. Oh no, the day before it was okay, but the 2 days before that, I made neither of them did I make $8. Oh, it's a weird thing. Also, as somebody whose background is math. I mean, it's physics, but obviously physics is math. Sales numbers make no sense and there's no trends, and it's insanity. Okay. Let's go ahead and do our next sprint and actually get some work done this time. We're going to go for 20 minutes this time. Oh my God. So I shrunk this clock down to make the numbers bigger, but also it means that the window thing is enormous and it's hard for me to find a place that I can click on. Anyways, we're going to go for 20 minutes. It is good grief. Oh no. I was about to say good grief, it's 8:22 already. And then I realized we've already done a sprint. I just wasn't participating in it. Anyways, it is 8:23 in Atlanta. So I'll see you guys at 8:43. Okay. Let's unmute and then we can talk. Let me know how you did. I finished off the chapter that I had outstanding from yesterday, and I got another scene edited. I'm in the middle of another scene. So progress is being made. I wish, I just compiled this from Scrivener over to Word, and now I don't remember how many chapters are in it. That's okay. You know what? I always tell myself not to use chapters as my progress, as it's certainly the easiest way for me to tell y'all what I've done, but when I'm actually trying to figure this out, I really just need to be doing math. So I'm at page 84 of 145, which means that I've got 60 pages left to go. And I'd really like to get to 30 pages left to go today. That is my goal today. And that will place me at we'll say 110. I'm at 84. My goal for today, not for the sprint, but for the overall day, is 110. I don't think that's a terrible goal. Assuming this goes smoothly, and last time I did edits on this book, the second half certainly did go. Actually, the very end of it went super smooth, which is weird for me. But yeah, so I'm making little progress, and I'm okay with that as long as I get this done in the next 2 days. Courtney got 828-ish words, and I support that. We also had a raid show up during that sprint. So official hellos to Coffee and Lady and Lethan, who is probably already gone, but if not, hello. And then Wordwin is here. Hello, Wordwin. And Ashes is lurking, and as always, I support the lurkers. I too lurk, not because I want to lurk. I mean, my goal is not to be some creeper in the background, but I tend to just not speak until I find a good reason to speak. And sometimes that doesn't happen. Nothing that's an issue with anybody's stream. I just, I need to find a place to squeeze myself into the conversation, and I don't always do that. But it's okay, because Twitch doesn't care about how many people are chatting. It cares about how many people are watching. Wordwin, there is progress, and also Zool. I will allow both. I don't need them to be mutually exclusive. I don't care. Gosh, there was something else I was going to say while we were on this break. It's right out of my mind. So I don't know I don't remember which show I was doing it for, but last week I attempted to use Hemingway to edit to help me with this proofread, and it was a whole disaster. Just from front to back, it was a whole disaster. And I tried Per Writing Aid, and I tried Grammarly, which both of them I had tried before, but things change and people change. So it's I don't know if these services are still about the same. I don't know if I'm about the same. So I tried them all. I was displeased with them all. And at the end of the day, this is going to sound insane, but my favorite grammar checker is still Word. It's not even I don't even have, I feel like I do not have the grammar check on, and the grammar check itself gets much more complicated. There's just the new blue lines now that there didn't used to be, where it's I feel like this is wrong, and I'm going to notify you of that. I appreciate that. That's all I want. I want the little squiggle when I've got double letters, and just a spelling error, because Scrivener's spell check isn't very robust, so I have to ignore the spelling errors and that a lot. So sometimes there are actual spelling errors. But like the things that Word warns me of is absolutely the stuff that I need warning on. And that's it. I know when a sentence is too long, but I write long sentences. But I chop them down every time. Like, I know what I'm looking for. It's just those like really nitpicky comma rules. And occasionally, like, what is the dash? Is this supposed to be dash? You know, those dash words, like, there's no rhyme or reason behind them. There's absolutely no rules about what needs to be dashed and what doesn't. It's just like, do we dash this one or not? There are, okay. Amendment to that. There are vague rules, but they are super inconsistent. And part of the rules tend to be if it doesn't get a dash when it's used as one part of speech, if it's used as an adjective, then it does get a dash when it's used as a noun, stuff like that. Anyway, so it's weird. But like the rules are extremely hard to track. I'm good at knowing them, but also it's really nice to have Word occasionally be like, you should check and make sure you do or you do not need this dash in it. Thankfully. That's all I need. So I appreciate that. Coffee enjoys Pro Writing Aid. My problem with Pro Writing Aid, and I know that people really appreciate this with Pro Writing Aid. So this is absolutely like everything with writing. Your mileage may vary. What I like and what you like can be two different things, and we're both okay. Pro Writing Aid, it's too much. It's too many steps for me to go through like every single pane of it to figure out what's wrong. And the majority of things are not wrong. And that's like, I mean, that's fine that the majority of them are not wrong, but the amount of time that I spend to find like a single error that's questionable about whether it's an error and it's more of a style thing is just not worth it to me. I get it. And yes, I do warn in different ways. I had hopes for Hemingway until I actually tried to use it, and Hemingway really only it only catches like 4 or 5 different things. Again, 2 of them are how confusing a sentence is, which how confusing a sentence is based on the length of it. And I don't like that rule because as long as you punctuate it properly, a long sentence can still be not at all confusing. Wordwin says Scrivener uses an old version of the A Spell. I don't know what that is. I'm just going to call it A Spell library. She was able to change the Linux version to a new spell check library, and that was really nice. Hopefully Scriv 3 will use a better library. Yes. I'm hoping for that as well. And it's one of those things where I know I'm eventually going to be compiling it into Word. So it doesn't bother me enough to address it. I know I can address it, but it's not like such a crisis for me that I'm like, I need to deal with this. I, again, tend to be really good at spelling anyway. So I just accept the fact that I believe Scrivener is the one that does not accept internet. I think I believe that's Scrivener that says that internet is a spelling error. So I am going to go ahead and get this next sprint going so we don't fall behind. I'm going to address Wordwin's next comment after the break. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and sprint. We're going to go for 20 minutes again. It is 8:52 here in Atlanta. So we will resume at 9:12. Okay, that was time on that sprint. I finished a chapter and then another scene past that. So I did about a scene and a half, and I got a cup of coffee. I gave you guys a little bit of cat cam. I don't know if you utilized your cat cam or not, but there was a bit of cat cam there. And Shadow joined us from the YouTube side of things. Don't worry, Coffee. There will be so much more cat cam in my life because they live on my bed now. There's a tiny bit of cat right there. Just a little cat cam right there. Just ears mostly. The other one is now a rug. So we have less impressive cat cam. Yeah. So another thing about editing that I don't know, this is a weird thing for me perhaps, but it might be useful for other people. And also it's messing me up right now. I have to use different programs for different stages of editing, or not that I have to, but I do best with them. So I write in either Scrivener or Wavemaker, depending on which one I hate less when I start that project. My last project I started in Wavemaker, and then I lost an entire scene and had to like go into some nasty backwoods of Google Docs and just barely was able to resurrect it. So like right now I'm hating Wavemaker more than I'm hating Scrivener. I'm sure that will change. Anyways, I have to do writing in one of those. I cannot write in Microsoft Word or Google Docs or any of the like word processors. I need a novel writing program. And then I do my developmental edits in there. So when I'm still like moving things around a little bit and like having to do continuity crap and all of that, I do all of that in, again, whichever novel writing program I'm using at the time. And then I do my line edits in Microsoft Word. And for some reason, I just do way better at line edits in Microsoft Word than I do in a novel writing program. I don't know. It just is what it is. And then for proofreading, I actually use my phone and just I read it on my phone in, you know, for me, I use Overdrive, but Kindle, Play Books, whatever other program I know that there's. I think you could probably use Libby for it, whatever. And then just as I see errors, I highlight them. And because it's copy editing, you know, if I see that highlight, you know, a few days later when I go to actually change it, I'll be able to figure out really quickly what it is. So that is the system that works for me, and it works great. And now I am messing everything up because I did an extra round of edits on this in Scrivener. And I was hoping that that was going to be my line editing. I actually had this like really stupid hope that I could do like line edit and proofreading in that same thing. No, not at all. That was dumb. But now I finally have it in Microsoft Word to do the proofreading. And of course, I'm line editing instead. So I'm probably going to need to do a whole other round of proofreading with this stupid thing on my phone. Or I should do that, but I'm probably not because I hate this project. It's the last book of the series. I just want it done and out of my life. So I feel like I might just like send it off into the world and maybe in a couple of months, revisit it, do that actual proper proofreading, catch those couple of errors. It's not going to be many. I'll probably have like 3 or 4 errors through the whole thing. I'm sure when I'm done with this round, I'll be under industry standards for errors. But anyways, that is the craziness that I have with editing and like going through the editing steps. And it's something that if y'all have issues editing and you don't want to dress in old clothes, then panhandle at the local highway corner for a week to get enough to pay for an editor, this might be a solution for you, but obviously always have somebody else look at it. Because you're probably not as good of an editor as you think you are. So always get an outside opinion before you do anything rash, like assuming that you don't need to pay for an editor. They're really expensive though. I could almost reasonably see myself handling. And honestly, I kind of have the clothes for it today. I could go do that. And in reference to a previous comment about how Scrivener assumes that the word internet is a spelling error. Coffee said the internet as a whole could probably be seen as a spelling error. The internet as a whole is a bit of an error, yes. Good morning to Shadow. And good morning to John. Thanks for joining. We do have probably 2 more sprints today. So plenty of work still to be done. That's fine. Courtney wrote 741 and about halfway through the draft. No plot issues. No plot issues so far, thank God. This is draft 3, and she's over wrestling with the plot. I get it. I have that habit of coming up with a plot that in no way fits my target word count, as y'all know, because I say it frequently. It's frequently my fight of like, this is close, but not close enough to where it needs to be. So, yeah, I'm glad. I know last night you said that this plot was looking way better than it was last time. So that's fantastic. And hopefully you'll get this finished and you'll be happy with the end result this time around. So let's go ahead and do our next sprint. We're going to go for 20 again. It is 9:20 in Atlanta, so I'll see you guys at 9:40. Yeah, not bad. Oh, I wasn't muted. Hello, welcome back. That was time. Let me know how you did. Got another chapter finished. I'm kind of, what's going on right now is that like I'm finishing an entire chapter in each sprint, but I'm not starting at the beginning of the chapter. So like I feel like I'm not getting as much done. And it's just like a clever coincidence that I finished a chapter when I'm editing a chapter every 20 minutes. And I feel okay about that. If I remember right, I got about 10 chapters ago, but more importantly, I'm now at 93 pages. And my goal was to hit 110 pages. So I've only got 17 pages to go to hit my goal for today. Yay. Yeah, let me know how y'all did. Also, I found a continuity error there. Literally a continuity error within a chapter. Basically, I've got a character that just went through some bad stuff. And another character says, oh, yeah, she went through that bad stuff. And then the very next scene, The character who went through the bad stuff is like, hey, I went through this. And everybody is like, oh my God, I had no idea. Even literally just the previous scene, at least one of them knew and like told somebody else. So real dumb continuity error, but I consider it a victory. And that's another piece of advice. I don't know why today is the I give dumb advice about editing day, but congratulate yourself every time you find a continuity error. They're unavoidable. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how well you plan things. There's always going to be continuity errors, even if it is just like a dumb dialogue thing like that. And like, it didn't matter. It really didn't matter when this was revealed, except for comic timing. It was better that I revealed it later, and that was why I moved it later. So yeah, so you know, it wasn't like anything critical, but these things pop up. So yeah, that is my bit of advice on that. When you find it, don't be mad at yourself for making that error. Just be happy that you found it. Courtney got 888 words exactly. Well done. Shadow says, you know, that actually happens in real life, though. So, two things on that. Yes, but this was literally like 5 minutes apart, and it was like the same group of people. Like in this scene, it happens in one room, they walk to another room, and the second part happens. So it was weird then. Yeah, like just like with the time frame, it wouldn't work. Also, unfortunately, some things that happen in real life don't translate properly in stories unless you like, you know, so Shadow says, I will tell people stuff, they will know the stuff, and suddenly they'd be like, oh my God, we didn't know. Yes. If you want to write something like that, you have to make it obvious that it's not a continuity error. You know, you have to like put a punchline in it or have that internal dialogue of like, these idiots, I just told them this, and here we go again. Like, so you can write it. You just have to write it deliberately. John wrote 300 words that time. Well done. Everybody is doing really well. So we are about to go into our final sprint of the day. Really quickly before that, I will be... Oh, God. Wordwin says, I remember a novel where a character's name changed 4 times in the same chapter within a few paragraphs. 2 things about that from me. I have this habit, thank God. My writing partner, Sandy, loves my Demon series and always does. She reads it. It's a beta read. It's a proofread. It's a, you know, whatever. She like catches little errors. She just wants to read it. She flags errors. Thank God she is, because at some point, and every single one of the books, I call the male MC Locke, who is the character from the first book. And Killian and Metal and Abe have all been called Locke many times now. I don't know why I do that. Also, I've seen this happen in a Nora Roberts novel. Not the character name changing 4 times in the same paragraph, but I have absolutely seen a book where halfway through her MC's name changes, and for the rest of the book, that is the name. It's obvious though, because you look at the back of the book and you could see like clearly he was, you know, Chris at the beginning because the blurb says Chris, but now he's Caleb, and I don't, yeah. And hey, Texas, we got one more sprint to go. So I'm glad you're here, even though your internet is being wonky as heck. And the lady has a bad habit of spelling the same name 3 different ways. in the same book. I've also done that before. In fact, the book that I'm currently reading, there's it's shifters, excuse me, that I'm currently proofreading. There's shifters, and some of them are deer. And in my world, some of the different varieties of shifters have their own gods. And so like instead of saying, oh God, they say, oh Fenrir, or whoever it is, depending on what they are. For the deer, they're Herod, or Heroth. I don't know actually how it's pronounced, and that's okay. Definitely two different spellings, and I have used both spellings. So for habitual errors, add a keyword for that word when you first start a project in Scrivener or put it in your template. Then you can do a search for that keyword really easily. That's smart. What I do usually, if I'm having something where I spell it different ways each time, it's usually something that the spell check is going to flag anyway. So as long as I have ignore all on the proper spelling, then I can catch the wrong spellings. But then I also will tend to go into Word's search document to nuke any that I like if I know I'm spelling it two different ways. So I did say we were going to do one more sprint. Before that, really quickly, so the rest of the week, I will be here at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and then 10 a.m. Eastern on Thursday and Friday. On Monday, we'll be having our regular WordStitch at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern on Monday is going to be the premiere of the Bob Ross Off. It is going to be me and Haley Spence doing a Bob Ross painting together. It is technically going to be a Steve Ross painting because we agreed that we like this painting best. But the actual Bob Ross won't be airing for you guys because, legality stuff. And also because we're going to be going at our own paces. For y'all, it's going to look like a Bob Ross painting. And then from us, you're probably just going to hear us talk about the rockin' 70s porn stash that Steve Ross has. It is aggressive. But 7 p.m. Eastern on Monday the 1st, premiere of the Bob Ross Off. It'll be about 2 hours long. Haley Spence and I are going to be watching a Bob Ross episode and painting it for y'all to watch and see how it goes. It's like a virtual painting class. So with that, let's go ahead and do that final sprint. Hello, CB, as well. We're going to go for 20 minutes. Also, I just realized that the reason the lighting is so weird in my room today, it's good. I like this lighting, but it's because I don't have my actual light on. That mystery from the beginning of the episode is now solved. Oh, no light bulbs. Okay. So we are going to go for 20 minutes one last time. It is 9:50 here in Atlanta, so I will see you guys at 10 past. Okay, that is time, and that is the end of the show. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. It looks like none of the streamers that I follow are currently streaming, or I would send you that way. But thank you all for joining. And again, I'll be back here tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern and Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, so you guys all have a great day and go be productive. And I'm at page 99 in case anybody was curious about how I ended up doing today. I got at least 15 pages. I know I was a little late when I said I was at 84 pages. Like I had already done a sprint or two. So I got some good work done. I hope y'all did too. I will see you guys all later. Good luck out there, everybody.